Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Going to read through pretty much the full article here. There's a link in the description. Why are we going over this subject? Well, because it involves a celebrity. I might get more views if I make celebrity videos, so let's give that a go. Chael Sonnen faces 11 counts of battery after a Las Vegas bar brawl. So here's a picture of Chael Sonnen. He's an MMA, mixed martial arts legend. Now, I don't follow MMA personally. I don't follow UFC, but I do have an awareness of the most prominent guys. I've seen this guy's YouTube videos a few times, quite a few times. He's very well renowned, very respected, both as a fighter back in his day. He's now retired, but also as a general commentator in regards to the sport, but in regards to life as well. I think he's viewed as being an intelligent man, philosophical to some degree. Anyway, he's generally very well esteemed, and he works for ESPN, I think. So let's have a look at the details. MMA legend Chael Sonnen faces 11 counts of battery after allegedly fighting with 6 people during a December the 18th incident in Las Vegas. Chael allegedly strangled one man during the brawl, which will be classified as a felony. Sonnen, 44 years of age, allegedly punched the first man, punching and kicking a second man, punching a third man in the face, punching and kneeing a fourth man, and striking a fifth man with his elbow. He also allegedly used force of violence upon a woman by punching or striking and pushing her. Quite the fight, quite the fight. He took on 5 guys and 1 woman. He got away with it. We'll watch this footage in a... Well, I guess we can watch that now.
Yeah, no, he's down there.
Where's that female? Where's that female that was here that said she was punched in the face?
She's down the hallway. She's with an officer.
So this is him being arrested. Unfortunately, we don't have footage of the brawl itself. I would have loved to watch that, to be honest with you. Maybe you'd disapprove. But there we go. He's being arrested. An original complaint was filed in January for 5 counts of battery against Sonnen, which were dismissed. However, a new complaint for the 11 counts was filed March the 16th. And as such, Sonnen now faces court April 27th. So it's quite serious. It says here, battery by strangulation in non-domestic situations is a Category C felony under Nevada law. The potential penalties include 1 to 5 years in prison and a fine of up to $10,000. It's likely Sonnen will plead out the case, meaning he'll state that he's guilty of being involved. Look, my feeling, maybe it's just because I kind of like this guy from the clips I've seen of him. I've seen him with during interviews. I've seen him interview people, and I've seen him be interviewed, and he's on what they call the can't think of the right word, but where he's at a press conference for a fight that he's involved in, and he's a real smooth guy. He's got away with words almost as good as me, and I like the guy. I hope he gets away with a fine of up to $10,000. No worries, he can afford that, no problems at all. His buddies can afford that, no problems at all. Jail, I wouldn't like to see him go to jail. Maybe it's just because I'm extremely biased, but seemingly, according to another former MMA fighter, Brendan Schaub, Brendan is a very popular, extremely popular podcaster. He started off appearing on Joe Rogan's podcast as a guest and a friend of Joe Rogan, but he's started up his own thing. He's got a couple of different podcasts, both of which are killing it, as far as I understand, almost as popular as this YouTube channel. And he's said the following. So he says, here's what happened. Chael was obviously working, and he was with his wife, and his wife is a fucking saint and also a dime piece. I think a dime piece means hot. and she is hot. Let me show you a picture of Chael's wife. There she is. Oh my goodness, she is drop dead gorgeous. I mean, almost as pretty as my wife. Some drunk guy with his girl kept making comments about Chael's wife, talking about her, pardon my French, tits and her arse right in front of him. Well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, because you are talking and disrespecting one of the toughest guys on the planet, and definitely one of the toughest ever to compete in the UFC or Bellator for that matter, MMA leagues. And you're doing it in front of his face, then there's gonna be repercussions. Any guy that wouldn't do that for their girl, ladies, you've got a girlfriend. So that's Brendan Schaub giving his understanding of what went down. So he's saying, Brendan Schaub is saying that they were out at a bar, at a restaurant, having some drinks, enjoying their evening, and a group of guys were effectively heckling Chael's, forgive me, absolutely drop dead gorgeous wife, disrespecting her in an overtly sexual manner, and Chael did what his values tell him to do, and that is to beat the living daylights out of each and every one of them. I can't hate the man for that. I cannot hate the man for that. So I support him, I guess, from the details that I know. And maybe that's because I'm a hypocrite. Maybe I'm hypocritical to support such violence. He could have turned the other cheek. He could have walked away. But you know what? He didn't. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. You know, that's who these guys are. And if you're going to, pardon my French, fuck with them in this way, then, you know, as Brendan Schaub said, repercussions are going to happen. And although Chael Sonnen, as I mentioned, he is an intelligent guy. He's like a philosopher. He's got a poetic streak within him, as far as I can see. He's good with his words, but he's better with his fists, man. And, you know, if you're going to be there making sexual, lewd comments about his wife, you know, the guy made a choice and he chose to use his hands. I don't blame him. I hope he gets off with a fine. A fine won't really be punishment for him. I don't think he deserves punishment. That's my take on it. Again, I could be entirely biased. I'm also going to mention we've got Conor McGregor. He's in the news for... I made a video on this if you're interested. But he's been arrested for dangerous driving in Dublin. He was hooning around in his Bentley Continental GT, which cost £140,000. It was seized, but it's since been returned to him. There was no alcohol involved, no drugs involved. He was just hooning around, but I mean, that's kind of associated. And then, of course, we have the other UFC guy. I'm trying to think of his name. Bear with me. Yeah, we've got this guy in the news just a couple of weeks ago. UFC champ Cain Velasquez. So his is even more of a serious situation. His son was sexually abused, allegedly 100 times or more, and Cain Velasquez tracked down the guy. They lived in the same building. I'm not entirely sure if they're related. I think the details were a little bit vague in that regard. I think they were related. I think the abuser of Cain's son and Cain were related. Could have that wrong. Anyhow, Cain tracked down this guy, chased after him literally, and shot at him. So he's facing some more serious charges, Cain Velasquez. So I don't know, UFC guys, MMA guys. Conor, Chael, Cain, come on, guys, calm down a little bit. But you know, this story is more about Chael, and you know, I hope he doesn't get overly punished.